The 10 most dangerous jobs in the world. Working only 2 days a year. Earning $600,000 just for changing a light bulb. Yet having an average lifespan of less than 40 years. Some of these professions even impact male fertility. Across the globe, countless occupations exist, but certain workers live as if a sword hangs precariously above their heads. They earn their wages while navigating the thin line between safety and serious risk. In this edition of Guidepedia, we'll explore those professions where individuals face significant challenges daily. Click subscribe. Let's begin. Cliff honey hunters. Collecting honey from the Himalayan mountains has long been considered one of the world's most dangerous occupations. The honey hunters of Nepal's Garoon community wait until the end of spring and autumn seasons, when cliff-hanging beehives have accumulated sufficient honey, before beginning their perilous harvesting work. For thousands of years, they have maintained their ancestors' honey collection methods and tools, hand-woven rope ladders, and a long bamboo pole called tangos. After positioning the soft ladder according to the hive's location, the honey hunters begin their upward climb. Throughout the entire process, they are secured by only a finger-thick suspension rope. Any slight mistake could result in a devastating fall down the steep cliff. When they finally reach their destination after a precarious climb, even greater dangers unfold before them. Himalayan honeybees are the world's largest bees and possess potent venom. According to locals, being stung 7 times could potentially create a life-threatening situation. The honey collectors must work together as a team. If they face an attack from a swarm of wild honeybees, their options become extremely limited. 7 years ago, award-winning British photographer Andrew visited this location and captured invaluable images of the honey collection process. He was subsequently hospitalized due to severe allergic reactions. In his photographs, honey hunter Mally, already 57 years old, visibly winces from the pain of 20 to 40 bee stings and rope burns under his arms. Yet for survival, he must continue this hazardous profession. The collected honey is extraordinarily precious, selling for tens of thousands of dollars per kilogram, exclusively available to wealthy consumers. However, the spirit of Nepal's honey hunters remains truly priceless. Welders, a high-paying yet hazardous profession. Welding is considered an occupation that cannot be pursued long-term. Despite its relatively high salary, it poses significant health risks, even potentially affecting male fertility. Most welding rods contain heavy metals such as manganese, chromium, and nickel when exposed to electric arc temperatures ranging from 7,200 to 10,800 degrees Fahrenheit. These materials release numerous harmful gases. Prolonged inhalation can lead to fibrous changes in lung tissue, with severe cases potentially developing into serious respiratory conditions. Simultaneously, the intense light produced during welding can easily damage both skin and eyes. Although protective eyewear is provided during operations, many workers still suffer vision impairment, with extreme cases resulting in complete vision loss. Working under such high temperatures presents additional challenges. On one hand, burns are almost inevitable. Most welders typically have several scars on their left wrists. On the other hand, excessive heat can increase sperm mortality rates and abnormalities, potentially compromising reproductive capabilities. Consequently, this well-compensated profession ranks among the more hazardous occupations available today. Lumberjacks, a profession intertwined with danger. From ancient times to the present, logging has been a profession inherently accompanied by significant risks. The casualty rate is more than 30 times that of ordinary workers. It's not as simple as cutting down a few trees as portrayed in movies and television shows. The first challenge lumberjacks face is navigating treacherous mountain terrain. According to Roger Smith from RL Logging Company in Olympia, Washington, the greatest danger comes from the slopes where trees are felled. Working on steep terrain of 70 to 80 degrees means rocks could tumble down at any moment. Secondly, operating a chainsaw requires considerable skill. These tools can reach speeds of up to 4,000 rotations per minute. When battling massive tree limbs, workers must exert tremendous strength to avoid being struck or caught by unexpected movements. Furthermore, lumberjacks typically deal with trees that are 60 to 70 years old with diameters exceeding 27 inches. If the cutting technique is incorrect, these giant trees can collapse suddenly, sometimes falling in the opposite direction from what was anticipated, leaving no time for escape. Additionally, when large branches snap, they can fly unpredictably in all directions, resembling a barrage of projectiles with potentially serious consequences. Even more concerning, the high temperatures generated during restraint operations can ignite surrounding forests, triggering wildfires with immeasurable losses. As early as 2012, the casualty rate for lumberjacks already ranked as #1 among all industries in the United States, illustrating the extreme level of risk associated with this profession. High-rise window cleaners. At Dubai's Jumeirah Beach, a commercial building stands 34 stories tall, reaching 400 feet into the sky. A window cleaner walks along a narrow ledge, gripping the window frame while stretching to wipe away a small smudge on the glass. Sometimes, these workers must literally hang by their fingertips to complete their tasks. Behind the clean, gleaming facades of skyscrapers lies the reality of high-rise window cleaners who risk their personal safety. The most obvious danger is the potential fall from extreme heights. Typically, these workers secure themselves with just a few ropes that must support not only their body weight, but also the weight of various cleaning tools. The entire cleaning operation takes at least several hours. During this time, they must not only overcome the height challenge to complete their cleaning duties, but also remain vigilant about wind speed. If suddenly caught in strong winds, workers can be lifted and swung through the air. During such moments, they may collide with the exterior walls, increasing the risk of injury and falling. As buildings continue to reach greater heights in our modern world, the hazards faced by these urban Spider-Men progressively intensify. Wind turbine technicians. Wind turbines are devices that convert wind's kinetic energy into electrical power. They represent one of the most widely utilized green energy sources in today's world. Their blade diameter can exceed 328 feet. On these massive structures, you might occasionally spot tiny dark figures. These are the technicians performing high-altitude maintenance work. For routine maintenance and testing of these giants, technicians rely on just a single rope and their abundant courage to climb hundreds of feet into the air. They must simultaneously avoid injury from the sharp blades while resisting the assault of sudden gusts that could appear at any moment. The swaying motion at such heights is truly terrifying. In 2011, wind energy industry personnel acknowledged that 1,500 accidents had occurred over the previous 5 years. Despite such high risks, this profession offers technicians an average annual salary of only $53,000, not particularly high compensation. Nevertheless, for those who dare to climb, the challenge itself provides a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. Tower technicians, working just 2 days a year, earning $20,000 just for changing a light bulb. Such a job would tempt anyone. Yet, 99.9% of people would back out once they see the actual working conditions. This was featured in a previously viral YouTube video that garnered over 18 million views, showcasing one of the world's most terrifying occupations. The footage shows a technician suspended by a single rope thinner than his arm, climbing a 1,500-foot signal tower using only his hands and feet. There are no additional safety measures or tools to protect or assist him. Viewed from the first-person perspective, the footage is enough to give viewers heart palpitations. The technician in the video, named Schmidt, has the job of replacing light bulbs at the tower's peak. At certain times, locations, and seasons, all hope rests solely on a single safety rope and his own limbs. One small mistake could result in a fall. Due to the tower's height, wind speeds at the top can sometimes reach 62 miles per hour, making it difficult to keep one's eyes open. Yet, he must continue. The frightening height not only requires Schmidt to overcome his internal fears, but also demands physical endurance for the climb, which takes approximately 2 hours. This significantly tests his physical fitness. Schmidt might climb up to 8 towers in a single day, which explains his high daily wage of $20,000. However, the variables at such heights are numerous. Schmidt wryly smiles when mentioning that he has almost no colleagues. Mine clearance specialists. Landmines are merciless hazards. One wrong step, and you could bid farewell to this world forever. Following years of continuous conflicts, the underground terrain of more than 60 countries contains approximately 65 million to 110 million unexploded landmines. Each year, these hidden dangers cause approximately 20,000 injuries or casualties. This makes the urgent removal of mines from affected areas critically important. Since mechanical mine detection doesn't achieve the same success rate as manual clearance, deminers have become professionals who work in extremely precarious conditions, even with confidence in achieving a 99.6% clearance rate. None dare become complacent. Among the most frightening are cluster mines. When one detonates, it triggers others to explode as well, leaving no time for escape before meeting one's maker. From 1996 to 2002, mine clearance operations resulted in nearly 1,000 specialists losing their lives. Today, completely removing landmines scattered throughout the world would still require thousands of deminers working continuously for 1,000 years. Until then, these brave specialists must continue risking their well-being in this dangerous profession. Sulfur miners of hell. Looking at these miners of hell reveals the stark commodification of human suffering. Indonesia's majestic Ijen volcano stands beautifully imposing, with the world's most acidic volcanic lake below it, so corrosive it can dissolve metal in just 1 second, leaving the surrounding area completely barren. As a sulfur volcano, this location has given rise to the profession of sulfur mining. These miners can only make 2 round trips daily, earning a meager $10. Yet the dangers behind those $10 are truly astonishing. The sulfur miners endure extreme heat and toxic gases daily. They climb up to 8,800 feet, then navigate treacherous mountain paths to descend nearly 3,000 feet into the volcanic crater. There, they shoulder approximately 200 pounds of sulfur for the return journey to the surface. During the extraction process, they must avoid falling into the volcano or strong acid pools while their skin gets corroded by the surrounding acidic substances. Since the $10 must support an entire family, they cannot afford gas masks and instead wrap wet cloths around their faces. Long-term inhalation of sulfur fumes severely damages their health, with most miners' lifespans reaching only about 40 years. Many tourists visiting Ijen volcano pay tips to have the miners pose for photographs. For the miners, tourists represent another source of income besides sulfur. However, in the eyes of some observers, tourists are merely consuming the miners' suffering and pride. Shipbreakers, a perilous profession. The dismantling of massive ocean vessels, strictly prohibited in Europe, is conducted extensively at ports across South Asia. This industry generates enormous profits for a few powerful families, while simultaneously supporting and endangering desperate men, women, and children. Shipbreaking yards are filled with collapses, explosions, and thunderous noise, resembling an inescapable nightmare. Workers earn less than $1 per day, crawling and struggling through mud contaminated with heavy metals and toxic paint. With virtually no protective equipment, men succumb to accidents, leaving behind countless young widows and children. Yet these children receive no protection due to their lack of awareness, small stature, and agility. They are particularly favored by employers, a reality too heartbreaking to witness directly. After watching this video, is anyone tempted to pursue these most hazardous occupations for their high salaries? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like. Guidepedia will bring you more fascinating content in our next episode.